Okay, so what's up guys? In today's video I'm gonna show you how to make beats for Black's new album, Since I Have a Lover. Before we move on, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, don't forget to follow me on IG, and let's get right into it. With this beat, I went for the Since I Have a Lover vibe, so some simple live guitar and some double time drums. So first I started with this guitar, which I played on my real guitar, so I'm not gonna show you the MIDI, but I was just, placing the fingers on my fretboard until it sounded good, and I came up with this. So as you can hear, very simple 1-5 chord progression. I mean, as I said, I have no clue if it is any chord, but with the second half of this melody, I went 5 semitones down. As you can see, I have 2 tracks. It's because no new track, no new recording will ever sound exactly the same as the previous one. So I recorded this melody once, and I recorded this melody second time, and then I panned one take to the left side and the second take to the right side, so it's a lot wider and it has some, I would say, authentic vibe when it's like this. So for the effects, I used this equalizer to cut out some of the low end and to clean it up a little bit in the middle. Then I used Valhalla Vintage Verb with this preset called Short Vocal Ambience, because I wanted to add some kind of ambience to this guitar. And on top of everything, I added this CLA guitars. I don't know what this does, but it makes the guitars sound a lot better. As you can see, you can boost or reduce the bass, treble, you can compress it, you can add reverb or delay. Here you can set what kind of effect you want to use. I used this preset called Electric Leader, and I used exactly the same effect chain on the second take. As you can see, I panned one take 70% right and the second take 70% left. Now this is what it sounds like with all the effects on. When I had the main melody done, I wanted to make some kind of counter melody with a higher pitched guitar, so I came up with this. Again, there is no theory behind it. I just took my guitar and I played around with it until it sounded good. For the effects, I added this equalizer to cut out all of the low frequencies and to clean it up a little bit. Next, I used this compressor called CLA76 by Waves to reduce the dynamic range of the melody, and I used this sample called Guitar. Then I used this Valhalla Uber mode with a preset called Guitar Mod 2. I used this plugin to add a lot of ambience to this guitar, and on top of everything, I added this CLA guitars with the preset Electric Leader again to glue it all together and to make it sound very good. Now this is what the counter melody sounds like. As you can see, I have very weird volume automation clip. It's because when I recorded this guitar, as you can see, the first half was very quiet for some unknown reason, and the second half was very loud compared to the first one. So I had to make this volume automation clip to reduce the difference between these two parts. The next sound that I used is from Pigments. It's called Celeste. It's a pad, and I added this pad to fill out the sample so it doesn't sound as empty as it sounded. Originally, this pattern only followed the root notes of the melody, which are E and B, but for some reason, I have no clue why, but for some reason this first 2 notes doesn't sound that good when they are on E, so I moved them to G sharp and they sound a lot better. So as you can see, it's only G sharp to B. This is what the pad sounds like with no effects on. For effects, I used Valhalla Vintage Verb to add a lot of ambience. I didn't touch decay, as you can see, so it has pretty long decay, but I turned down the pre-delay, mix, and also a low cut. And on top of that, I added this equalizer, but as you can see, I didn't touch it, so I have no clue what this is doing here. But okay. And the last sound that I used for this melody is from Prophet 5. It's this one called Electro Piano, and I use this one as some kind of block. The pattern only follows the notes that I played on the guitar, so it's E, G sharp, D sharp, and E, and then I moved it 5 semitones lower. This is what it sounds like with no effects on. For effects, I used this equalizer to cut out all the low frequencies because there was this click in the low frequencies every time a note played. So I had to remove that because it was so annoying and it would mess up the whole mix. And then I used this Valhalla Vintage Verb for the ambience. I played around with the decay knob, mix knob, pre-delay knob, and low cut knob as well. And I switched the color to 1980s. This is what the melody sounds like with all the effects on. When I had all the melodies done, I routed them all to this empty mixer track and I used these effects. First, I used the tape mellowify. I played around with the filter knob, wear knob, wow knob, and I also turned on this tone and I set it to 0.9. Then I added this equalizer to cut out all the low frequencies and to clean it up a little bit here in the middle. Then I used virtual tape machines to glue it all together. I'd say I have no clue what this does, but it makes it sound a little bit better. Then I used this virtual mix rack with a preset called Mix Bass Fit to glue it all together. Then I used this fruity stereo enhancer. I set the stereo separation to 8%, and on top of everything I added this mid side 3 with a preset called Mono below 125 Hz. And this is what the final melody sounds like. I'm not going to play it with a high guitar because for some reason it doesn't sound good with this block. I have no clue why, but it just doesn't. This whole melody is so weird, but it sounds good, so this is what it sounds like with all the effects on. I knew I wanted to use live drums, so I used this Addictive Drums 2 with a kit called Studio Perc, and I layered on this pattern. And a little trick, if you don't know how to send separate sounds from this kit to the mixer track, you just have to go here in kit and click this arrow, separate out pre-fader, and then you go here and processing. And here you can set what mixer track you want these sounds to go to. Then I added this shaker for a little bit of bounce. And then I added this perk to make the drums a little bit more interesting. And last but not least, I added this bass. It's from Contact, Scarby, Rickenbacker bass with a preset called Dub Bass. I used Paul Muted version because it sounds a little bit lighter to me, and I layered on this pattern. And yeah, that's the whole beat. So if you like this video, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to follow me on IG. Don't forget to like this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.